So let's create a frequency histogram with 5 classes using the gas mileage in our last worked example. Once we get the frequency table that we worked so hard to get last example, it's actually pretty fast. So take our frequency table, and what we're going to do is place our class boundaries that we finished up with last time on the x-axis. So we'll start with 9.5, and then go up to 18.5. And the reason why we use boundaries is because they match seamlessly. Okay, so the end of the first class is exactly the beginning of the second class. And likewise, the end of the second class, which is 27.5, is the beginning of the third, and so on and so on. And notice, because these are all halves, none of the data values ends up exactly right on the line. It's either in one class or the other class when we do our graph. So let's list them all. 36.5, 45.5, and last but not least, 54.5. And so here we're looking for a frequency histogram, and frequency we already have from column 6. And so what should we make our scale? In other words, should we count by 1, 100, or what? Well, the highest frequency we have is 11, so it might make sense to count by 2s maybe, and go up to 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And let's number them accordingly. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. And all we have to do is just draw a box, and the height is going to be the frequency. So for the first class, between 9.5 and 18.5, we'll make it have a height of 3. And sometimes if you're doing these by hand, you can write the frequency right on top. The next class, between 18.5 and 27.5, we found 11 data values. And looking at the data set, you could see that there was a lot in there, but you couldn't, you'd have to go through and count how many. This is nice because it just says, all right, there's 11. Let's go all the way up. That tells you right away, between the two values, 18.5, 27.5, there was 11. That's exactly how many in that class. Third class, there was 4, so between 27.5, 36.5, third class has a frequency and a height of 4. And the next class, height of 0, so we don't draw any box. And last class had a height of 2, so we'll go up to 2. And that right there is our frequency histogram.